Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
Wherever you are, welcome to Tuesday night under the lights down Wembley Park Way. Round 6 of the New Balance Dockerty Cup, and one which offers a real possibility for both of these sides for progression. Box Hill will want to extinguish the embers of a disappointing weekend out in Nunawading. Felled thanks to a goal within 5 minutes, which slightly soured an otherwise sound start to the season. Tonight, they return home dreaming of a memorable evening. Stella on the Surf Coast in the last piece of cup action. They know similar is needed to set their sights on round 7 this evening. Brunswick Juventus make the motor down the M3, having snapped back-to-back defeats in a massive way, striking 6 from time to topple table-topping Northcote. The gap now only a pair of points at the pinnacle of Victoria's second tier. Last time in the cup, they stunned NPL side Hume City. 2-2 on the night, nerves held to prevail from the shootout. They hope this evening, though, that they aren't on the other end of a cup set themselves. My name's Ethan Rigg, and welcome out to Box Hill on what is quite a fairly tempered and fairly clear Tuesday evening for a cracking cup tie. What an opportunity both these teams have got to get themselves into the 7th round, to get themselves an opportunity, in Brunswick Juventus' case, to face another top-flight opponent. For Box Hill United, they themselves would be going quite the journey in the cup this season. They haven't been able to do so for a little bit of time, but for this team, who have made quite the start to life in VPL2 this year, they're up against the team who were well and truly in the promotion hunt to the top flight itself last season and have continued on in such form when it comes to life in Victoria's second tier in VPL1 in 2026. The starting lineups for both, as we are well and truly underway here at Wembley Park. For the hosts, Tyrese Tam, Lucas Green, Sean Ping, Nicholas Weller, Edward Muller, Luke Evans, Yanni Tumanidis, Nicholas Theodosiou, Luka Jevtic, Nicholas Cormick and Emilio Varelas all get the nod from the off. Lachlan Campbell, who was the goal scorer for Brunswick Juventus, he starts for the visitors, as does Luka Lovic, James Zidias, Liam Price is the goalkeeper, Robert Takchenko, Salu Kamara, Christian Tramontana, Sean Ellis, Samuel Dway, Alexander Castiello and New Sahadovic. An opportunity for both this evening to continue their cup campaigns. Both have had quite the start to their respective seasons. 3rd in VPL1 for Brunswick Juventus, 4th in VPL2 for Box Hill. So neither have had forgettable beginnings to the calendar year, as we're approaching the halfway stage of the season, and Brunswick Juventus are looking to get at Box Hill early. Ball was teased into the area and dealt with rather easily in the end. These two separated by 14 places in Victoria's pyramid as they meet this evening. So maybe an opportunity for the hosts to get themselves a cup set. A real air to the evening at Wembley Park. There's Lovic and Brunswick Juventus look to control this from the off. Want to give them a chance to settle. It was worked out wide by Campbell. Again, an opportunity. They're finding joy down the left-hand side, and the ball just a little bit too far forward. They were unable to get at Box Hill once again. Wanted to make a quick start in this game. They know that Box Hill have a tendency to concede early this season, did so to their own detriment. Recent action is Ellis. Wanted to work it on. Brunswick Juventus again do find an opportunity. Forced back was Zidias. Castiello then gave it to Lovic, who centred in the channel. The keeper was there quickly to gather. Luke Evans, who given the nod this evening, gets himself a start in the cup. As hustling And not letting them out was Samuel Dway on the far side. Brunswick Juventus making the faster of the first 5 minutes. Kamara tried to get on the flick on, but maybe Box Hill could spring an opportunity for themselves now. Charging was Tam. Had Muller out wide. Cut back to the edge of the area. Brunswick Juventus solid defensively. Ellis then dropped it off. Zidias hammered it away. Nodded on for Tumanidis, who gave it and got it back. Had Tam the other way. That's a tidy ball out for Muller. Tam on the overlap. Couldn't get beyond Zidias, whose challenge was a good one. And dropping in Cormick was there to provide a presence for Brunswick Juventus. They started the season 8 wins in 10 across all competitions. For a side who were in the promotion picture last campaign, it was the perfect start to the season. 2 defeats in 3 has since seen them stay in the mix, though maybe not as far ahead of it as they'd like in VPL 1. And they found the net freely. They've looked to start brightly this evening. Only Eltham, Victory and Western United have found more goals than their 22 in the second tier so far this campaign. Tams fling down the line. Juventus wanted handball. Jeftic was bodied out of it. And on the flip side, it's a Box Hill side who have only tasted defeat twice in the league this season. 5 league draws, same as Whittlesea, who are at the other end of the table to them in VPL 2. That won't be enough tonight. If it ends level, it's extra time and then a dreaded shootout. Brunswick Juventus, they'll be hoping it doesn't get to that again. And they've got an opportunity. Dway was lurking. An important challenge by Weller, otherwise he and Kamara were off. Green steered it, Jeftic couldn't get it under, might get a second attempt. Campbell got himself in the way and won a free kick. And it's a Brunswick Juventus side who themselves have been hard to break down this season. Only the top 2 in VPL 1 have conceded fewer than their 13. And only Malvern City have lost fewer games than their 2. They've only lost 1, sit at the top of the table. Both of these 2 have already gone better than they did last year in the Dockerty Cup. Box Hill were knocked out in round 4 by Hampton East Brighton on penalties. Whereas for Brunswick Juventus, they fell in round 3 at the hands of Corio 2-1. Spot in round 7 up for grabs, and they've got a free kick in a promising position early. Ellis over it. Hit with depth, and too much depth for anyone to go and make a go at it. It's the earliest of early kickoffs for Dockerty Cup's 6th round this evening. Altona host Heidelberg, Altona East host Heidelberg, Avondale host Brunswick City, both of them on opposite sides of Paisley Park. Bentley Greens host Northcote, Uni Hill Eagles have got Preston, Bulleen host Port Melbourne in an all second tier smash at the Veneto Club. Goulburn Valley and Eastern Lions, North Sunshine Eagles at Eltham, St Albans and Oakley in an all-MPL encounter, and Williamstown set their sights on another cup set against George Cross. All of that to unfold throughout the evening. Zidias, however, had Muller in retreat, and he got a flick on it which took the sting out of it for Evans, who went to go and gather. A poignant start for Box Hill United. Brunswick Juventus haven't let them out. Was flicked on by Lovic. Kamara went and won it and was given a clip on his way through as well. Another Brunswick Juventus free kick. Dway is over it. Clips again with depth to the back post. That one more threatening and a good claim from Evans, who had to go and gather. Otherwise, Castiello and Kamara were converging, and Kamara's gone and won it back. Moved it on to Dway, who took it deftly. Was close by two, who intervened. Weller was there to clear. Couldn't get it further than Zidias, who lost it. Lovic then went to go and win it back. Dway got on the ricochet. Lovic, Campbell. And Zidias once more. Kamara. Touched on for Ellis, who slid into good effect. Takchenko's ball in, a good one. Flicked away at the first. Palmed by Evans at the second. And hammered into Lovic. But lurking was Sehadvic. Made life difficult for the Box Hill keeper. Forced a flick and a parry. Brunswick Juventus coming closest so far. Box Hill have been penned in. Kamara competed, wanted a high boot. Muller kept it low enough. Campbell came crashing through. Setovic took a tumble. Ellis kept it rolling. Dway had many to go round. It's worked out the other way for Castiello. Zidias. Campbell, who proved match winner at the weekend. How he would love to repeat that and set Brunswick Juventus on to round 7 this evening at the end of it all. Ellis on for Kamara. Set back patiently for Castiello. Kamara goes and gets it again. Ping was quick to go and press him. Campbell. Out the other way was Tachenko. Switch for Castiello. Zidias. Box Hill holding firm for the time being. Lovic dropped in. Got it back from Campbell. Those two happy to try and draw Box Hill out. Room for Tachenko. Moved it on for Dway. Who returned it tidily. Tachenko had a yard. Rolled it in for Setovic. Tachenko won it back and then was robbed of it. Box Hill looked to spring on the break. Zidias had to be alert and in the end just had to get a challenging touch as Muller was charging. Quite a crowd at Wembley Park, it must be said, this evening. Very mildly tempered May Tuesday. As Box Hill have a corner. Jeftic fired into Zidias. And for Box Hill, who for the first quarter of an hour have had to withstand a bit of pressure, have now got an opportunity to go and put some of that back on Brunswick Juventus. Fizzed into a dangerous area, flicked away well by Castiello. Ellis then lost out. Not once but twice. Box Hill wants another corner, which they will get. Weller with tenacity. Was unwilling to let Sean Ellis evade pressure. A pair of Pythagoras set pieces. Can they get the angles right? Cormic's take, this time with depth. Free at the near post. And searching was Weller. Box Hill wanted handball. Cleared away only as far as Tam. Ellis in short. That life for Sean Ping wasn't easy. Thump long, Sidias under pressure. Weller, whose header was blocked on the line. Unable to keep it rolling. Tam got up, Ellis in retreat. Kamara then had to battle and did so to good effect. Ellis's touch was a little loose. And Tumanidis can cool things down. Ping then went to drill it for Muller and just wasn't able to. Not far too much on it. First bit of ebb and flow to a cup tie that can always prove a bit tricky. It's moved on by Tachenko, who then got it back and shifted it for Castiello. Sidias. No way beyond Muller. Sidias got it back from Kamara. Clipped it into the channel for Sedavic. In retreat was Tachenko, who lost out to Jeftic. All on his own was Varelas, who was swarmed upon by those in black and white. Castiello then wanted to tiptoe forward. And an opportunity, perhaps, for Green. Lost out down the line. Tachenko steered it for Dway, who had two to contend with and couldn't. Throw set quickly for Jeftic. Box Hill want handball once more. Again, they won't get it. Steered for Dway. Lovic. Sehadovic unable to steer it further. Campbell cut out the flick just as Muller was going, and now Sidias has got space for himself. Ellis with a tidy return. Sidias went early with depth. Dway gave chase and then gave up in vain, as it had too much on it at the back post. Both sides have had a look each. Neither have really been able to make it count. Set back for Sidias once more. Campbell got it back from Lovic. Castiello. Brunswick Juventus calm. And for a side who looks so short last time out against Hume City, had to hold their nerve in the shootout. They did take the lead, then had to save themselves in stoppage time. Lovic, who was the provider of that lead in last cup action, moves it on for Ellis, who again goes early with depth for Dway, who was always stretching. But that cup set in and of itself against Hume City, a real sign of what this team have been capable of so far this season. They did follow it, of course, with back-to-back defeat to North Sunshine Eagles and Melbourne Serbia. It was righted at the weekend against Northcote. And for Box Hill, a long, long unbeaten run was put to an end against Nunawading. 11 in all competitions unbeaten for them until the weekend. Had the opportunity to make it 12 and couldn't. Zidias lost out to Muller, now Tam, not beyond Lovic. They've got it back from Tachenko. Zidias was squeezed tightly down the line. Zidias' flick. Tachenko only favoured Jeftic, who steered it on for Theodosiou, who lost out. Green, and gave it away to Tachenko, who went surging on the switch for Ellis and did so smashingly. Ellis away from Tam, again had to set back for Zidias. Lovic, Kamara, now Campbell. Castiello. Campbell speared it for Dway. That's a tidy touch on for Tachenko. Green's challenge, a good one. Ping cleared. Wasn't able to get fully rid of it. And the second time Varela did so, just as Tramontana was looking to get forward. Brunswick Juventus still searching. Box Hill on the back foot once again. Tachenko. Get a tidy early ball again, an important flick, which will find its way for Tam. Sehedovic was lurking again. Pumped away by Tumanidis, and across was Castiello. Box Hill again have just had to sit in a bit after a quick flurry forward. Tam set it for Theodosiou, who was happy to see it out off Sehedovic. Game of yards for the hosts at the moment. Ping battled with Tachenko, who bundled into him and gave away a free kick. Maybe an opportunity from a set piece again for Box Hill to go and break Brunswick Juventus open. Tam went short. Theodosiou wanted the switch. Dway failed to see it out, although Green couldn't go any further with it. Just have not been able to find a flourish either side so far. Sehedovic with a couple of looks. Ping and Tumanidis have dealt with it well so far, however. Campbell. Lovic dropped in. Castiello got an all-important flick. Kamara battled and did well. Speared out for Ellis, whose touch was tidy. And then drove it delightfully for Dway, whose touch was less pristine and allowed Weller to clear it. Jeftic unable to win out and then tried to battle with Tachenko, one he wasn't going to win. Castiello. Lovic, patient. And Brunswick Juventus look through Castiello and Zidias. Katchenko's flick for Ellis, cut out by Tumanidis. Ping couldn't play it further. Battling was Varelas. Campbell got under it, flicked on by Green, and then by Lovic. Katchenko's touch was tidy, and the ball was longing, split away. And Servic. Lachlan Campbell once more. Castello, Zidias, who's had quite a bit of joy down the right-hand side in the opening 25 minutes. Castello, Zidias. Very patient look about Brunswick Juventus this evening. Lovic once more. Castello. Campbell. Lovic. This time on for Zidias, who was met by Muller immediately. Lovic, Campbell, who did well to evade a lurking Theodosiou. And then Varelas as well. Got it up to Tramontana. Margaret Campbell once more. Haven't been able to shuffle away through. Zidias, Katchenko, and Taman out of play. Tway was lurking. Got a flicker, was met by Green. Servic wanted to make it work. And across the clip was Theodosiou. Just the sole defeat in all competitions for Box Hill at home this season. Out of the hands of table-topping Malvern. Wembley Park has truly been almost impenetrable for them in 2026. Brunswick Juventus are wanting their best to make it too, but with depth towards Tway. Green got a flick. Tway with trickery was able to work a yard, set it back for Kamara. Lovic, who evaded one, was met by Jeftic then. Campbell, Kamara. Lovic happy to drop it off again. Kamara was pressed by Ping, sped well for Tway. Rewarded off Green, but not Cormick in retreat. Clearance only as far as Kamara. Lovic, and the other way for Zidias. Muller was there to intervene. Castello. Campbell, Lovic. Threaded for Servic. Campbell once more. Thought about Kamara momentarily and set it for Lovic instead. Castello. Campbell, that's a lovely ball. Tway continued his run. Took a flick that needed dealing with. And Weller did well in retreat. Tramontana tried to steer it for Tway. Now Katchenko. Brunswick Juventus free kick. Was felled with some force. They're in a hurry to take it. Zidias, Ellis. Servic wanted it in the channel. Invited it to be cut out. Cleared only as far as Campbell, however. Box Hill can't get out. Half an hour whizzed by at Wembley Park. Both teams have had glimpses. Weller had a header cleared off the line. Sedvic has had a couple of glimmers. Neither side's been able to break through. Spot in round 7 on the line. Campbell. On for Dway, it was well measured. Tramontana wasn't able to get further forward. Steered out now for Theodosiou, who was given room to roam and then wanted one for Muller or Jeftic to make a run at, and neither obliged. There's Campbell. Only a pair of defeats in all competitions on their travels for Brunswick Juventus this season. Went Melbourne, Serbia the other week, and then earlier on match day 2 away at Eltham. On what was a bit of a Friday night fright up in the north. Clipped over the top invitingly, and Varelas has got a yard and has got a corner. Box Hill just getting a brief break. And again, an opportunity to besiege Brunswick Juventus. Last corner, Weller got free at the back post. Had his effort blocked on the line. That is the closest Box Hill have come so far this evening. Cormic's corner. Again with depth, again wanting Weller. Required a punch from Price. And a clearance from Dway, which Ping was there to rekindle with. Set it on for Tam, who went looking for Jeftic. Castiello with a loose foot, and it'll get its way through to Jeftic, who curled it agonisingly wide of the far post. Nearly a costly lapse. And Luka Jeftic, who's had quite a quiet first 33 minutes, almost announced himself in the loudest way. It was curling carefully, and Price for a moment was just puzzled as to whether or not it might cause issue, whether it might pick that far corner. Box Hill with a close look. Ellis steered it on for Dway, who was able to make it work and then tiptoe his way around a retreating Weller. Green was there in support. Dway without options was able to win a deep throw in. Sent for Sedvic. Lovic was just getting ready to have a hit before Theodosiou got in the way. Campbell gave it to Tramontana. Zidias. Campbell. Zidias once again. Look up and was a little bit starved of options. Castiello, whose little loose moments almost benefited Luka Jeftic. His blushes were spared. by being unable to whip into that corner. Easily Box Hill's best opportunity of this half. Brunswick Juventus, for all the ball they have had, have not had the incision to create similar chaos just yet. Here's Campbell. Moved out to Tramontana. Set back for Castiello. Sidias. Gave it back to Castiello, who again went to drill it for Dway. Green got up, nodded it away. Kachenko was there. Green again had to clear his lines. And Campbell started the next go for Brunswick Juventus. Castiello getting adventurous. Zidias. Campbell. Really unable to generate incision unless Zidias and Ellis can link up. Tam was there to intervene. Tidy touch from Ping. Rolled it on to Theodosiou. That's a lovely pirouette. And a tidy ball out to Varelas, who went early, too long for Jeftic. Cormick on the overlap, however, has now got all the room in the world. Speared it across, flicked away by Campbell. Recovered by Green, who darted away from Dway. Campbell lunged awkwardly, and Lovic was given a grab. Another Brunswick Juventus free kick, just to let some pressure off. That was a gorgeous turn from Theodosiou. And from Cormick, it was challenging. Still, they have been unable to blemish. But for Box Hill, who sat in for the majority of the first quarter of an hour of this game, they've just started to have a look. Campbell got it from Castiello. This is where Brunswick Juventus have just been unable to penetrate in this first half. Campbell once again. Tramontana. Campbell on for Lovic. Ellis had dropped in, opened up room for Zidias. Castiello. Campbell and Castiello. Again working in tandem with one another. Out for Zidias once more, who has been bright this half. Campbell this time. Again drilled for Dway. Terrific touch to flick it beyond Green. And Weller was there to clear. Castiello on for Lovic. Can either side cause an issue as half-time just gets in the periphery of both camps. Loose touch favoured Kamara. Left for Kachenko. And a comfy save for Evans. Lacked real sting, lacked real bite, was very chained from Kachenko. Lovic was under pressure from Cormick. Kachenko this time, fouled by Theodosiou. Campbell. Castiello. What was initially patient has turned cautious from Brunswick Juventus. Serdovic tried to drop off to give some relief, and Kamara had two Manitas to contend with. Got it back from Price. Castiello. Salu Kamara. Campbell. Box Hill not necessarily as backs to the wall as they were early. Zidias on for Kamara. That's tidier. Now Ellis turned himself into trouble. Theodosiou around one. Won a free kick. Lovic not best pleased about it. They have just had a body in the way whenever Brunswick Juventus have looked to break the lines. It's been a half of Box Hill grit. Cormick happy to return for Evans. Now Weller, who whips it in the channel, and Jeftic has timed the run well. As Campbell in retreat. Cut it back for Varelas. Flashed it across the area. Zidias got there first to clear. Box Hill building inside the final 5 to half time. Can either find a late first half script changer. Jeftic again up again. Castiello, Lovic got up. Green went on the volley. And didn't catch it as cleanly as perhaps he would have envisioned. Would have been something truly beyond special to break the deadlock in this half. And now both teams defensively are set up. Perhaps that's what it will take. That's a lovely flick from Ellis. And now Kamara, who steered it for Sejovic. Across was Weller. Kamara. Lost that to Pink. Muller was battling, as was Cormick. Jeftic not beyond Campbell. Kamara with muscle on for Lovic, who left it too long, and now Jeftic has got options arriving for him. Had Muller one way, had Theodosiou the other. He fancied an early go! And it needed a good save from Price. Speared! Hit with real venom and needed the faintest flick to steer it for a corner. Another Box Hill corner. Brunswick Juventus, maybe just a little bit on the ropes. Corner hit to the near post, flicked on by Cormick. And they will reload again. Only seconds to stoppage time in the first half at Wembley Park, and Box Hill, who started slowly, are finishing with a flourish. Corner with depth, dangerously flicked away by Campbell. Tam and Dway battling, hooked on by Muller. Theodosiou, Jeftic, who again timed the run well. This time couldn't outmuscle Kamara and gave away a free kick. And only the singular set of 60 seconds to half-time. Box Hill may have just had their look. Brunswick Juventus, after it started with creativity, has since fallen a bit barren. Is there a late opportunity for them? Sidias, Lovic. Tam's flick was errant. Kachenko happy to see it out. Is there a late twist to the tail of the half? Kachenko, Zidias. Not away from Muller, who did well to withstand and win a free kick. And that'll be that for a first half. That is a proper cup arm wrestle. One where both had grit, both had guile, but neither had a goal to go ahead. Theodosiou came closest. Prices had a bit to do. Brunswick Juventus maybe a little bit blunt here. It's half-time at Wembley Park. It's Box Hill 0, Brunswick Juventus 0. So 45 maybe to find a winner, if not a further 30. And if not, it'll be decided from the spot. Box Hill in the first half grew into it as it went on, started slowly, but then had Brunswick Juventus on the back foot. They hit the crossbar, they had one cleared off the line, though could not find a way through. And for Brunswick Juventus, they started the game brightly with pace and precision. But then as the half divulged, they dropped in. Opened the door for Box Hill. That being said, the second half will throw up something entirely different. And looking to get forward early is Jeftic, who had an effort in the first half, curled just wide of the far post. That was the first little bit of Box Hill bite. The bar was struck by Theodosiou not long after, and here he is. Moved it on quickly to Muller. Found its way out to Varelas, who clipped in an early ball, and Box Hill have an early corner. Inside 30 second half seconds. A first set piece. Cormic's corner. First half goal was depth. His first go of the second half. His fizz to the near post. Kamara didn't deal with it, and it's blocked on the line. Goodness gracious. Box Hill inches from an opener. Cormic's second take. Cleared away by Sajovic. Only to Theodosiou, who has been centimetres from two screamers this evening. That was it with terrific trajectory. A bit of a dip, and there would have been a bit of Box Hill bedlam. Only a matter of centimetres from the spectacular, as he was just before half-time. That one with a flick rattled the bar, and now Jeftic is in behind. Price has come a long way and has done so to good effect. Drove it on for Douay. Tumanidis in retreat, had to clear. Box Hill oh so close to flying out of the traps at the start of the second half. Tramontana moved it on for Ellis. Him and Douay have switched flanks at half-time, hoping for a bit more incision and precision. Sidias gave it back to Castiello. On for Campbell. And Brunswick Juventus slowing things down, maybe just to take the sting out of what has been a rapid start to the second half. Muller had Lovic in retreat, who kept it alive and had only favoured Cormic. Put away in retreat by Kachenko. Flung into the channel for Jeftic once again, who's battling with Sidias, who did well not to give away the corner. Kamara Jeftic tried to drop it off. Him and Dway couldn't sort it out. Cleared by Lovic. And Weller will be the one to go and retrieve it. Evans. Ellis was lurking. Evans has speared it. And Muller is onside. The flag has stayed down. Jeftic is lurking. And Campbell was there to clear. Brunswick Juventus were broken open. Magnificent ball for Muller, who timed his run to perfection and almost reaped full reward for it. Flick from Zidias. Castiello prevents the corner again. Set back for Tam. Steered early. Cleared via a ricochet to Jovic. Dway was almost on his way. Tam recovered once more. Steered it on for Muller, who lost out to Lovic, who then went around one. And couldn't thread it for Kamara, who was charging. Zidias speared it on for Ellis, and well, Kamara was charging. Dway was on the overlap. Tomanidis was there to calm it down. Evans wanted Varelas. Tramontana got up. That's a really tidy touch from Theodosiou to release Cormick. Now Varelas. And Box Hill bustling Varelas via a deflection. Jeftic was battling, and too much so did he have of Castiello. Brunswick Juventus free kick, though. They are the ones starting on the back foot, where they controlled most of the early bit of the first half. Box Hill are bounding at the start of the second. Tramontana gave it back for Campbell, who clipped it brilliantly on for Zidias. He steered for Sejovic. His flick on for Dway. Sejovic battling and winning. Muller unable to outmuscle him. Lovic. Tam in ahead of Zidias. Ricocheted off Cormick. Muller then refound him. Lovic lunged. Pink got it away. Zidias steered it. Ellis's touch took it a little bit behind him. But we still got green to go at, with depth. Dway will keep it alive. Tangos with Tam and clips it into the palms of Evans. First little hit back from Brunswick Juventus. Campbell's flick on. Dway, then Kamara. That's silky to get away from Theodosiou. Moved it on for Ellis. Kamara's overlap. Got him beyond Weller. And one Brunswick Juventus a corner. A chance to return serve. Dway's take. Ellis was momentarily short. First Brunswick Juventus corner of the second half. Dway dangerously. Castiello came round the back and crashed his header over the bar. Closest they have come, possibly all evening. Control much of the first half. We're unable to break through Is Sejovic though. Kamara got away from Weller, who did well to take the sting out and allow Evans to go and gather it. Look for Varelas. Tramontana got up. Little look for both teams at the start of the second half. Cormic's flick, Castiello and Campbell sorted it out. Tramontana then with a loose touch allowed Varelas to go and get a boot in. Quick update around the grounds at the Dockerty Cup. North Sunshine trail Eltham 2-1. Bulleen lead Port Melbourne 2-0 over at the Veneto Club. They look as though they're going to continue on their cup journey. Williamstown and George Cross without a goal in the opening minutes. And in our all-channel National Premier League Victoria men's clash, St Albans and Oakley, after a quarter of an hour, look level all the way out west. Goulburn Valley trail Eastern Lions. And Altona East have Heidelberg held as that ticks towards half-time. Bentley Greens have got 2 on Northcote, who look as though their cup run is already in a bit of peril. Same could be said for Brunswick City, who trailed 2-0 against Avondale. And Preston have got themselves ahead against Uni Hill Eagles. Here it is 0-0. Sejovic flicked it, however, and Green cleared it off the line. Sejovic's first real look of muscle. And Lucas Green just had to get there in time. Brunswick Juventus corner. As they've ridden out an early storm and are now looking to go about some brightness of their own. Ellis's take, whipped dangerously again. Evans got a punch. Ellis got there first. Katchenko. Zidias speared, nodded away by Tumanidis. Zidias again is going charging. Has got away from 2. And Evans got his angles right at the near post. But Box Hill's early adventure has now gone back to anxious cautiousness. Kamara away from Cormick, not beyond ping though, who picked his pocket momentarily. Lovic then with a lovely turn, got away from 2, set it back for Campbell, who speared it on for Ellis. Tramontana on the overlap. Hit without much guile. He'll get another look and get away from Green. Ellis took over. Sejovic got a flick. And Dwyer arriving at the back posts. Ball was out of play. A little bit of tension, a little bit of angst starting to settle for those in Box Hill blue. Brunswick Juventus, on the contrary, are just turning the screw. Lovic got up. Theodosiou, who on another night may have had a terrific double. Gave Evans one that looked momentarily awkward. Lovic picked it up and took a tumble when trying to clip into the channel. Lovic, Couldn't find Zidias, and now Muller's got an opportunity to go. 3 went to him, which was an order too tall. Tam recovered it. Green got galloping and got away from Lovic. Varelas clipped it, flicked away by Campbell. Now Kamara. Zidias lost out. Box Hill wanted handball. Green momentarily sat Katchenko down. It was cleared with depth towards Varelas. The only one there was Price to go and pick it off. Lovic, Campbell. Quarter of an hour of this second half played. An hour ticked over at Wembley Park, and neither can find a way through. Box Hill were oh so close to the spectacular. Brunswick Juventus have just shown a bit more bite in this second half. Kamara for Zidias, too much on it. Muller made an issue, and now an opportunity for Cormick. He went early. Wasn't one which was going to bother Brunswick Juventus goalkeeper, though it is time for a substitution. Box Hill the first to blink when it comes to making change, and it will be a double. Gangjwok Mel and Charlie Heslop will come on. Edward Muller and Nicholas Theodosiou will have their nights come to an end, and he might consider himself quite unlucky not to have at least one of 2 terrific efforts pick out the top corner. A night of what ifs for him. Though for Box Hill, this evening is not a what if just yet. Brunswick Juventus still having to be cautious. And again, Jeftic is causing a headache for Castiello. Where the first half flipped 180, this one has seesawed. A to and fro tussle. Throw flicked away, Ellis helped it on. Mel nodded it down, and Green's efforts got a flick and gets a corner. Just a little ricochet. Box Hill have got an opportunity. Again from a set piece. They've caused quite a bit of panic in the penalty area when they've got it right. Again, whip with depth. Price got a punch. Tam had a go on the volley. Just for a moment, Brunswick Juventus hearts were in mouths before it flew wide. For the visitors, they must be wondering, will it happen again? Will they have to go the entire distance to get through in the cup? Is that what it will take for them to go and get through to round 7? Lovic clipped it on. Dway caused an issue for Tumanidis, who did well. Header was kept alive and then flicked out of play. Whereas for Box Hill, they had much easier passage. I'll be wondering, will they be tested for the length of the evening? They just have a bit of an issue now. They've had a man stayed down. Lovic is in conversation with the official. Ping is back on his feet. And in fact, confirmation of that other change, it was Kanalopoulos who came on instead of Heslop. Could he be the one, maybe, to go and steer Box Hill to round 7? Here is Kanalopoulos, linked up with Mel. Hustle by Dway. Was always back to the wall. What a night we would have on our hands. If it were to go to extra time, if it were to go all the way through. Here is Campbell. He's no stranger to a late bit of heroics. Lovic got it from Kachenko. Gone for Zidias. Dway tiptoed his way via a flick from Tam out of play. Brunswick Juventus are just starting to quicken things up. Castiello got it back from Campbell. Kanalopoulos put him under pressure. Campbell speared it again for Ellis. And up to nod it away was Green. A real bit of Box Hill rearguard action. Second half that has had momentum exchange itself. Kachenko's touch a little loose. Had a ping to go and win it. Now Cormick was swarmed by 2 and got it through to Varelas. And now Kanalopoulos could lead a counter. That's a beauty of a ball for Cormick, who got away from Campbell, and his challenge was fine enough. Box Hill shouts for a penalty waved away. Just for a moment, though, Brunswick Juventus must have been wondering. Tumanidis got up and got away from Kamara, and then continued to go. Kachenko took a tumble. Varelas went it back for Green. Weller on for Ping. Kamara went to press. Varelas. Return invited Campbell. Ellis lunged. Kachenko on for Kamara, who was offside. And now a yellow card coming for the Box Hill manager. Perhaps a bit too outspoken. at the previous penalty shout. This side, though, have been outspoken in their performance so far. Although it's loose and it invited Lovic to go and win it. Kanelopoulos couldn't get it under. Lovic ran into a trio hunting him. And only had the touchline as a friend. Now hang on a minute. Box Hill boss really walking the tightrope and perhaps walking the touchline. Lovic with loft. Weller, that's tidy from Tumanidis to take. Jeftic, Castiello nearly flipped inside out. Mel couldn't work it onward. Here's Katchenko. Ellis clipped it for Sejovic, who had Dway on the far side and just put far too little on it. Tam picked it off tamely, moved it on for Cormick, who couldn't clip beyond Katchenko, but will get it back. Tumanidis, happy to return all the way home. Tried to get up, and now Cormick can go. Momentarily it was 4-on-4, though Lovic was there in retreat, and he turned it on to Dway. Kamara had stayed forward, as did Sejovic, though the ball had far too much on it to find either of them. And Luke Evans just happy to take a bit of time out of the game. Lofted long, Campbell got up. Sam had Dway in retreat, tried to steer it on for Mel, who was shown how to play by Zidias. And Brunswick Juventus themselves prepping a substitution down on the touchline. That's Campbell. Castiello gave it on to Zidias. Lovic. Sejovic just couldn't turn away from Ping and then fouled him. And so, a trio of alterations. Brunswick Juventus going to the bench for just under 20 to find a winner. A few changes being made for the visitors. Can they go on and get a grip on this game? Marko Basic introduced as one of them. And now an opportunity for Kamara, who's got one up with him. And Brunswick Juventus have found room in behind. One was sat down, the deflection flicked it wide. They will have a corner. They broke away on the counter. Basic was arriving late. Kamara was patient. And nearly an opening. Lewis Gilboy with a superb piece of skill to sit down Tumanidis. His corner, fizz to the near post. Tumanidis then is there to thump it away. Throw is left for Tramontana. Brunswick Juventus have been building throughout the half. Flicked away by Weller. Kamara got up. Lovic. with a little loft for Gilboy. Set back for Zidias. Too long for Sajovic, and an errant clearance has allowed Campbell, who stayed up, to go and keep it. He's happy to set back through Castiello. Had Simiois, one of the other substitutes, as well as an option. Here is Campbell once more. Tramontana on for Castiello. Quarter of an hour for either of these two to go and win it, or it will be a further 30. Campbell on for Basic. Simioi and Tramontana are just held when he wanted him to go. Lovic the only one there to meet it when Evans speared it long. Sajovic. Kamara was lurking. Crashed away by Weller. Tramontana judged it well. Now Cormick. Simio's challenge was good. Ricochet found Tam, who clipped one for Mel to go and make the most of, which he chased in vain. Campbell gave it to Castiello. Can either go and find a goal that it's been one of those nights where it may just pinch it. Castiello had to come sliding. Sajovic nearly made it work in the channel. Cormick. Simioi in firmly. Mel helped it on. Jeftic given away to Lovic. Cormick dangled a leg. Gilboy was on the overlap again. Brunswick Juventus have another corner. And just for that little lunge, in fact it was Kanalopoulos who we'll get a talking to. Corner with depth. Nodded away for Jeftic. He did well to go and get there. Ping said it was a good one. The clearance only found Kamara, however. Simioi. Moved it on to Zidias, who switched sides. Campbell. Mel made a jump at it. Tumanidis got in the way. And the flag against Tramontana was up for offside. He was just retreating. And now Luka Jeftic finds himself down with a bit of cramp. Brunswick Juventus went to the shootout in their last cup round. Box Hill hadn't worry about that. Their stellar Surf Coast outing. In and done in 90, though at the moment they are facing a further 30. Simio's flick on. Gilboy got up. Moved it on to Basic. As well battled and won by Green. Basic then returned in kind. And got away from Varelas, who was just moving a little gingerly afterwards. Campbell. Castiello. We're closing in on the final 10 at Wembley Park. And no one has found a way through just yet. Sidias gave Sejedvic one to go and get. Lovic got the second. Sejedvic helped it on for Gilboy, who couldn't steer it for Lovic. It's away by Ping. Jeftic was fouled. Castiello gave away a free kick, and he's had quite a handful with Yuka Jeftic this evening. Maybe an opportunity from the free kick, and a yellow card given as well. A little too long taken for this free kick to find itself. Varelas, the unlucky one to find himself in the book. Melantumanidis with a bit of grappling on the edge of the area. Box Hill free kick. Speared in dangerously. It's a good claim from Price, who went and judged it to perfection and then was impeded by Jeftic, who was retreating. He went quickly for Sidias. Gilboy let it run across him and let it run out of play. Just as they look to go on the counter, again for Brunswick Juventus, it breaks down. Similar story to how the first half ended. Still haven't quite showcased the same attacking adventure that they had done, though Jeftic had Campbell watchful momentarily. He was there to flick back to Price. And there's a quick check on Kanelopoulos. Just to ensure that he's all right as well as Nicholas Simioy. Both thankfully okay. A little brief coming together. A small clash of heads, both good to continue. Tramontana. Basic couldn't return it. And Green released Cormick, who couldn't find the feet of Jeftic. Maybe another opportunity squandered for Box Hill on the break. Campbell, that's a corker of a ball. Tramontana's touch was tidy. Basic and Lovic. And for Sidias, who had Mel in retreat. Whipped it in early. The flag was up for Sejedvic. Would not have counted had it dipped under and in. He was just coming back a little late from an offside position. One now would win it with all but certainty. This cup is known for its crazy late moments. Are we about to see another? On a Tuesday at Wembley Park, Jeftic was lurking. Castiello just saw it all the way back for Price, who then went to spear it on for Basic, and his ball is a beauty. Basic again had Green to go at, and this time got beyond. Weller at the second concedes the corner. Corner hit dangerously and flicked away by Green for a take two. And now Campbell is involved in a bit of commotion. And that has sparked from absolutely nowhere. A game without any kind of temper has just exploded into life. And there's a discussion or two to be had here. Lachlan Campbell seemingly the culprit. And he will come and get a talking to. And more than that. Real bit of deliberation. Lachlan Campbell and Yanni Toumanidis are both about to find themselves in the book. And in the chaos that has ensued, it may not be done yet, in fact. Simeo was not happy about Luke Evans keeping hold of the ball. This is just getting a bit ridiculous. Salu Kamara in as peacemaker. Nicholas Weller wasn't best pleased about the attention his keeper had drawn on himself. Lucas Green was the one who was initially down. And it looks as though Brunswick Juventus won't get that second corner. A real pair moments of madness. And then Basic, who had two to contend with. Varelas went and won it. And him and Simeoi collided with one another. Kanalopoulos came through as well. And there's just a bit of spice in the closing stages. The game came to a boil out of completely nowhere. And now it cannot seem to simmer again. Here's Lovic though. On for Basic. Brunswick Juventus got a look. Green was in retreat. Lovic left it. Mel got in the way. And that's a really tidy return from Jeftic. Mel was on his own. Castiello was in retreat and he put in a good challenge. Maybe a look for late drama. Green got it back from Jeftic. Had Basic to go beyond. He prevented the corner initially. And then Green went and won it. Box Hill corner. Final minute of the 90. And prior to the corner being taken, There is just a check on the closeness of everyone bundled in the area, bundled in the 6-yard box. Corner fizzed into that area, was flicked away, which benefited Basic. He had 2 to go beyond. In retreat was Cormick, who lost it. Basic and Brunswick Juventus can break. Kamara, Lovic streaming forward. And Lovic's return was a little short. Cormick, Jeftic. Down the line for Varelas. Campbell had to be careful, and he was. The only question now, how long have we got left? Green's throw, flicked on by Cormick, helped on again by Varelas. Castiello came through to clear. Servic, Kanalopoulos got under it. And uncertain was Tramontana. Maybe one final look for Box Hill. Green went long. Gilboy happy to see it out anyway. Succession of long throws. Basic this time flicked it away. Up on by Weller. Servic wielded it. Basic, Kamara. And now the counter could be on. Gilboy got it out of his feet. Zidias was going beyond him. He had 2 to go round and couldn't. Jeftic on for Mel. Or is it Box Hill's turn to break? Kanalopoulos. Again kept it. Extra time looming. On a terrifically balanced cup tie. And one where Mel will now find himself with the yellow as well. Sam sent it down the line. Jeftic's touch was not what he wanted it to be. Castiello for Price, if there is to be a late winner. Will Brunswick Juventus be the ones to cause it? Campbell asked a lot of Zidias. Tam wanted Mel. Zidias flicked it on Kamara. Gilboy then crashed it into him. It'll work out. Simioi, Basic not up ahead of Cormick. Lovic was tidy in traffic. And now Zidias, who speared one on for Basic. Green got up. Basic will get it now. Tramontana did well to go and win it back. Twisting and turning away beyond Varelas. Green's in retreat. Tramontana got the final touch. And that'll be that. We are headed for extra time at Wembley Park. No one found a way in 90. They'll get a further 30 to do so. A tense, a tight, and an unbroken cup tie. Extra time coming at the home of Box Hill. As the end of the 90, it's Box Hill 0, Brunswick Juventus 0. Where to from here? Where to from here? A further 30 to try and find a winner without the dreaded penalty shootout. Neither have found a way through. Both have had their looks. Both would feel fortune and misfortune alike. Their Dockerty Cup decided on what comes in the next half an hour. Brunswick Juventus, Box Hill. Locked level after 90. For one of these two, it's not uncharted territory. They needed the shootout against Hume. This a second consecutive trip to extra time for Brunswick Juventus. For Box Hill, it's not quite the smoothness that was the 6-0 on the Surf Coast. This a test of their mettle too. Early pressure, an early throw-in. Green has got over. Thrown in, flicked on. Varelas was lurking. Brunswick Juventus wanted handball and will get it. A belated decision. Just as Varelas was looking to cause an issue. It's switched on for Basic and he's lost out. Green has had a good look at him for most of the evening. Sliding through well was Kanelopoulos. Mel then nearly met it. Sidias did superbly. Threaded it on for Kamara. Serdovic, that's a lovely flick for Lovic. Gilboy fizzed across, cleared away unconvincingly. Kamara kept it rolling, nearly turned into trouble, then got out of it. Simeoy. 1-2 between Basic and Lovic. Whipped in low. And well claimed by Evans. Just as Serdovic was lurking. No one at Wembley Park dare speak, dare move a muscle. A cup tie going the distance on this Tuesday night. Will result in ultimate heartbreak for one. Ultimate relief more than anything for the other. Here is Campbell and the lights have gone. On an evening where we've had everything, there's one more ace up the sleeve. And we are illuminated once more. Bit of a shade of Craven Cottage about it. Unfortunately for these two, they couldn't play in the dark. And here is Campbell to get things going once more. Even the electricity cannot hold out on an occasion as tense as this. Campbell on for Castiello. Lights out, a real rarity. And that being said, it will be lights out for one of these two come evening's end in the New Balance Dockerty Cup for 2026. Castiello charging, clipping, wanted Serdovic. Across was Tumanidis. Kamara. Muscle off ping, set it back for Campbell. Clipped it for Sidias, whose touch was too loose. What an opportunity for one of these clubs. Round 7 on the cards. Box Hill have got a free kick, a little shove on Mel. And they have got an opportunity from a set piece. Cormick over it. A goal could be cathartic. Everyone in Bianconeri back. Cormick's take, drilled. The flick on from Green. There's one. Unable to find an on-rusher. The first few minutes of extra time. Still unbroken. Brunswick Juventus playing with fire and then evaded the press well. Gilboy's giving chase. Evans across. Evans happy to clear. And where things were slowed down towards the end of the 90, they're now all of a sudden in search of speeding it up again. Kamara. Free kick. Kanalopoulos really just crashed into him. And now it's Brunswick Juventus' turn from a free kick. Can they find a finish that has eluded all? Gilboy's free kick. Whipped in dangerously, the flick on! What a save that is from Evans! Magnificent keeping. That is a brilliant stop, and it could be vital. Got down and got the most precious of paws to steer it to safety. Kamara for Simioi. Kanalopoulos was warded away. On the overlap was Basic, who's got around Green. Varela's there to clear. Jeftic flicked it on for furtherness rather than fruition. Campbell for Kamara again. Zidias. Lovic, that's a tidy return. Zidias lurking. Sejovic kept it alive. Tam then came across, cleared only as far as Lovic. Gilboy couldn't get it cleanly. Jeftic was deft. And Tam was terrific to keep it alive. And maybe an opportunity for Box Hill to go break. Kanalopoulos had one on the overlap. Campbell intervenes, and now Kamara. Gilboy. Flicked away by Tumanidis. Kanalopoulos had to lunge and then was given a clip. And just the feeling from that second half has been retained. Brunswick Juventus have got one down with cramp. Second successive cup rounds, they find themselves in this predicament. Cormick's free kick. Mel flicked it on. Green. Basic. Couldn't keep it in. Box Hill pressing. Closing in on the final 5 of extra time's first little bit. And Box Hill have got another free kick. And Basic this time will get a yellow card. And Kanelopoulos has stayed down. Who'd had a bit of a raise. Box Hill free kick. Backs to Brunswick Juventus walls. Cormic's free kick. Cleared away with ease. The setback on the second. The only one getting round was Weller. Though Price picked it off without much fuss. Tramontana. Basic. Couldn't find Lovic. Given away to Cormic, who couldn't get through Simioj. Lovic again. Mel. Had Tam on the overlap. Gilboy with a good slide. Him and Tam entangled. Box Hill will have it. Throw quickly for Simioj. Cormic. And now Jeftic was fouled. Simioj will find himself with a yellow card. And there's yet more commotion. This, though, a really, really promising opportunity for Box Hill. Ticking towards the end of the first half of extra time. On a night where no one has found a way through. Is the ensuement of something spectacular. The thing needed to throw this game well and truly off of its axis. Kanelopoulos to take. Box Hill are baying for a beauty. Kanelopoulos went low and straight into Basic. The flick on from Weller was cleared away by Simioj, and Varelas was happy to find touch. That a set piece squandered. One which they can ill afford. Promising opportunity, though in execution lacked excellence. Castiello on for Campbell. Speared it on for Basic, who was always lunging in retreat. Final minute of the first bit of extra time. Still all with bated breath, and the net's still undisturbed. Varelas got up. Lovic with Loft. Tam momentarily just kept an eye on Gilboy. Zidias came across. Tam's flick on. Kamara's touch. Ping on the slides. Tumanidis cleared. And Cormic's flick lacked conviction. 2 minutes on top of the 15 played. One more set to follow for either of these two to find a breakthrough. If not, it'll be decided from the spot. Campbell tried to steer it. Green got in the way. Barelas got the final flick. Basic just ensured it went out. Sejovic, Basic wins a corner. With possibly the final flurry of extra time's first half. Brunswick Juventus corner. Gilboy with depth. Keeper didn't get there. Evans couldn't. A scramble, a chaos. Tumanidis there to ensure it got cleared away. Tramontana on for Basic. Now out for Zidias. Brunswick Juventus surging. With Loft for Lovic. Flicked away by Green. Barelas. Simioy fouled him. Evans got nowhere near it. Went flying out to punch it to safety. And in the chaos that ensued, Box Hill cleared. So they get the final go of the first half of extra time. That's easy pickings for Price. Zidias. Too long for Sejovic. A quick glance at the watch. Evans just wanting to ensure that the break comes sooner rather than later. And with that little bit of soaking up the time, we will get to extra time's half-time. Still no way through. 15 to find a winner, or it's penalties. Box Hill 0, Brunswick Juventus 0. So then, a quarter of an hour, or this will be decided from the penalty spot. Change made. Brunswick Juventus, who are longing to go and snatch it right at the very end, who are longing to go and break Box Hill hearts. Ethan Pisani on for the final 15, and maybe from the spot. Weller went long looking for Mel, who had Sidias in retreat. Maybe, just maybe, Box Hill fancy an early look. They started the second half brightly. They were inches from an emphatic goal. I'll be hoping extra time second half starts similarly, but with more end product. Cormick was grappling with Sidias. And Bell will have a take two. Ken wanted Cormick. Flicked on and away by Gilboy. Green set it on for Pink, now on for Weller, who went with depth, and Price was just sure. Cormick was lurking. Quickly roll for Campbell. Can either go and snatch it. Round 7 on the line. Sejedvic with a loose touch. Wasn't the only Brunswick Juventus alteration made. Luca Pullen introduced as well. Right to the end. Maybe they are prepping for penalties. Battling was Castiello. Late in the night. If someone were to go and grab it, we feel that would be that. It's Campbell. Steered it on for Pullen. Varelas got in. Tidy ball for Cormick. Jeftic was off. And charging. Had it been threaded through, that's crucial from Castiello to intervene. Now Sidias wanted Sejedvic, had far too much on it. We'll go around one more time. North Sunshine lead Essendon Royals 3-2. In fact, they lead Eltham Redbacks 3-2. Ballina put 5 beyond Port Melbourne. Williamstown and George Cross are locked level. Oakley have 2 away at St Albans. Goulburn Valley and Eastern Lions. Goulburn Valley only just hanging on. Heidelberg 3 up at Altona East. Bentley Greens in total control at home to Northcote. Avondale far too good for Brunswick City. Preston double their lead away at Uni Hill, and here it is 0-0, and it is on the cusp of a penalty shootout. And Luke Evans is down. And possibly in need of a bit of attention. Now, isn't this quite the moment? James Seacrest is getting himself ready. You get the feeling, even if he is all right, that Luke Evans may play no further part. Evans needing some extensive treatment. And Seacrest is essentially ready to come on. They just test it out. See Chris now waiting and wondering. Evans, okay to continue for now. Though that is developing. See Chris still going through the drills, going through the routine. Brunswick Juventus back underway. Castiello on for Campbell. Returned it for Castiello. Now Zidias. Is there someone who wants to go and put their name all over the cup tie? An evening that has seen opportunities missed, terrific saves made. Neither side has found a breakthrough. Scrambled and Weller was there. Mel with a loose touch and Zidias got clipped. Brunswick Juventus free kick, and he's now down in a bit of anguish as well. Is this the moment? Is it the opportunity that Brunswick Juventus have looked for all night long? Zidias is still moving incredibly gingerly by the halfway line. Discomfort abating. Gilboy's free kick. Flicked in brilliantly. Pullen got up. And nodded the effort wide. Is that their look? Brunswick Juventus about to be involved in back-to-back Dockerty Cup shootouts. And nearly off on the charge was Jeftic. Taking a tumble was Simeoi. And once again, both wanting a winner. Neither wanting to determine their nerve from 11 yards. Flicked away by Green. Simeoi in return. Pullen made life more difficult for Green. Tumanidis. Jeftic couldn't steer it for Mel. Campbell was briefly under a bit of duress. Basic won it back in return. Pisani. And now Campbell, who went and got it from Price. Castiello. Who clipped it in the channel, Pullen. Was able to go beyond Cormick. Tam got it away. Campbell's touch tidy. And again, he is happy to reset. Castiello. Dropping off was Gilboy. Tried to clip it into the channel. Tumanidis alert to it. Tam again happy to clear his lines. Price on for Campbell. Approaching the final 5 before the shootout. Is there a late winner? Flicked on by Pullen. Sedovic. Basic didn't catch it cleanly. And a change to be made. Box Hill with one last roll of the dice. Emilio Varellas. His evening will come to an end to much applause. Marco Dolgoy is one who they will hope can give them salvation in extra time, second set. Castiello on for Campbell. Who is patient and poised. Couldn't make it out for Basic. Easily picked off by Green. Jeftic unable to get down the line. Final 5 minutes at Wembley Park on a terrific Tuesday night. Dolgoy did well. Green only clipped it for Price. And Kanalopoulos down. He rather ran into Campbell. Basic unable to keep it in. Kanalopoulos just getting a word from the official. Throw-in cut out by Basic. Tam nodded it on. Cormick. On for Jeftic. Dolgoy couldn't get further forward. Simioy had Cormick in retreat, squeezed it through to Basic. Sejovic gave it away to Mel. Now Kanalopoulos went to clip it over the top. Price made his move early. Castiello. Is there one more opportunity? Look long for Pullin. Basic was lurking. Green could have cleared. Pullin on the follow-in. Brunswick Juventus Bedlam. And it's Box Hill heartbreak. Pullin picked his moment. An inspired change. Set on to go and steal it, which he might have done. Round 7 beckons for Brunswick Juventus. And it may very well be Box Hill heartache. Luca Pullin all but 2 from time. An inspired substitution where on a night where a goal looked like it may never come, he found a finishing touch. And Tumanidis will find himself in the book. And for someone who's already found himself there, he and Box Hill will have their evening all come crashing down. It's a slow trudge off. A sombre and sour end for the hosts at Wembley Park. and Fiani Tumanidis. Brunswick Juventus are all but there. And in fact, Box Hill are going to have one final go. Five added on to the end. Hellsop subbed on. Two hours of football and 5 to go. Box Hill have got to find a way to go and save themselves. For Brunswick Juventus, this will do. Gilboy was gallant. Unable to find a way further down the line was Kanalopoulos. Gilboy again, this time able to ensure that Box Hill will have to go all the way. Sidias wants the corner, as does Sejedvic. Unable to keep it in was Tam. Or Ipragian. And there is a sombre air around the host. Brunswick Juventus have got themselves a corner. You suspect it may not go much further. Side fighting promotion in VPL 1. They were oh so close in 2025 to the top flight. The surge in 2026 continues. Top 3 in the second tier. In the hunt. And now, merely minutes from round 7 of the Dockerty Cup. Cleared away by Campbell. Box Hill have got to go now or never. Flung long for Hellsop. Up was Simioi. Away one further was Lovic. Kanalopoulos couldn't go further. Cormick is in a hurry. Box Hill are in a hurry. Mouse touch loose. Campbell came across. Hellsop kept it alive. Anywhere will do. They'll get one more look. Hellsop wins a free kick right on the edge of the area. For Box Hill, is there a stoppage time saviour? This may well be it. Cormick's free kick. A continually congested area. Now or never for Box Hill. Cormick's take. Thumped away by Campbell. Hellsop will keep it alive. Him and Simioi will collide. Basic lurking. Green got him on the muscle. Speared it on for Mel. Tam with a late charge. Zidias in retreat. McCormick kept it alive. Him and Tam couldn't work it out, and Zidias will clear. Time not their friend. Campbell on the slide. Pullin will have a look at this. Oh, he won't be able to go much further. Hellsop. Ipragian couldn't go further. And that'll do it. Round 7 for Brunswick Juventus. They are jubilant on a Tuesday down Wembley Parkway for Box Hillit's heartbreak. Luca Pullen, right at the very, very end, broke open a game that looked as though it would remain deadlocked right to the last. A brilliant, brilliant Dockerty Cup tie. It had everything. And in the end, in 120, it had a winner. 0-0 at the end of the 90. Full time at the end of extra time. Box Hill United 0. Brunswick Juventus 1.